Cooper Marcher here. When driving through Cuttingsville, a village in Shrewsbury, Vermont, you can't help but notice the huge mausoleum on the side of the road. There's a life-size statue of a man outside the tomb who appears anguished. When the light hits this stone man just right, it will chill you to the bone. Are you ready to hear the story behind this roadside mausoleum in Vermont? Along Route 103 in Cuttingsville, you'll find the Laurel Glen Cemetery. Standing tall is an ornate mausoleum built by a local tanning magnate, John Potter Bowman, who owned a tannery in Cuttingsville. In 1851, Bowman served in the Vermont House of Representatives, and in 1852 he moved to Stony Creek, New York, where he became wealthy through ownership of another tannery. His first daughter, Addie, died when she was a few months old. His second daughter, Ella, died when she was 19, and his wife passed away just a few months later. The mausoleum was built to hold Potter's daughters and his wife. Determined to use his wealth to build them a memorial, Bowman purchased land adjacent to Cuttingsville Cemetery. In 1881, the caskets of Jenny, Ella, and Addie were placed inside. The crown jewel here is the life-size sculpture of himself he had created to watch over his family. In his hands, he holds the key to the family tomb, as well as a mourning cloak, gloves, and a funeral wreath. The look of despair is clearly etched on his face. The mausoleum is made of 750 tons of granite and 50 tons of marble. It took over 100 men to construct it at a cost of a whopping $75,000, which was a fortune back in 1880. It is a well-known tourist attraction. Bowman then oversaw construction of Laurel Hall, a mansion across the road from the mausoleum grounds. He built this as a summer home across from the cemetery, and he later retired there. Bowman died in Cuttingsville and was interred with his wife and daughters. An adamant believer in reincarnation, he left money in his will to have his house ready and waiting for their return after their deaths in 1891. $50,000 was left with instructions for upkeep to the mausoleum and the house. Along with opening the mausoleum for tours, clocks were to be wound, fires were lit, and hot meals were waiting. The funds for upkeep dried up in 1953, and many of the home's furnishings were sold at auction. And after that, strange things started to occur. Those who occupied Laurel Hall after 1953 claim that the house is haunted. Footsteps, noises, and lights flickering are among the more common claims, while others have heard the cries from an infant, although none ever lived here. The mausoleum also has chilling accounts of strange occurrences there at night. Several people have attested to seeing ghosts in the home, presumably the Bowman family. Perhaps John Porter Bowman came back from the dead after all. Cooper Marcher here. Ciao.